The situation in South Sudan is bound to elicit concerns among African leaders slated to gather in Kigali, Rwanda for the 27th African Union Summit in less than 24 hours. It is the first time the tiny East African country will be playing host to the continental meeting, whose theme is on human rights with particular focus on the rights of women. More than 50 African heads of states are expected. They will hold wide-ranging discussions on gender issues, security and development. The AU is also expected to launch an all-Africa electronic passport and elect a new chairperson. Nkosazana DLamini-Zuma retires from her position in July. In the meantime, African women leaders have been meeting in Kigali to take stock of the implementation of the Maputo protocol that guarantees comprehensive rights to women. Now, Jen Kea has been following that meeting. She joins us live from Kigali. So, Jen, 2 days of this high-level women's meeting, how did that go?
Well, Penina, that meeting came to a close this afternoon, and like you mentioned, there the leaders drawn from across the world did put some recommendations to the heads of states who are expected here next week. And what these women are saying is they need more in terms of action, more in terms of implementing these policies and laws that are so huge on paper, but little in terms of output. And these are laws and policies that basically promote equality between men and women. And like you mentioned there, it's all about the Maputo protocol that is meant to ensure and uphold and respect women's rights. Now, so far, we do know that 37 out of 54 African countries have actually ratified this protocol, but only 5, Penina, have actually put forward their reports on accountability. And this is where the problem is, and this is where the women are saying that this simply shows a lack of commitment from the government, a lack of political goodwill. They say they need more in terms of resources. We spoke to some of them, and this is what they had to say.
Must acknowledge that having the Maputo protocol demonstrates some level of recognition on the need to respect women's rights as human rights. But from the deliberations that we've had and the stock taking that has taken place, we can actually see that progress has been very slow.
There are different reasons why implementation is slow, and some of them is that countries are not allocating adequate resources towards gender equality that can ensure that whatever they are committing to, whether it is access to education, whether it is access to women's health, whether it is access to, different rights that women should get, they need resources to be implemented.
It's not giving us a favor. It is a right. And so they need to create that space where women are also given the opportunity to engage and to participate. One of the reasons why we are not having policies that are gender responsive is because the women are missing on the table, on the policy making table, on the budget table. How many ministers of finance are women, for instance, that they would take into consideration the issues that affect women? There are very few.
Now, Jen, what can we expect in the coming days? What's on the agenda?
Well, Penina, of course, the main theme is on women's rights, but one of the main issues on the agenda is, and perhaps one that is likely to dominate the summit, is that on the selection of the next African Union chairperson. Current chair, like you mentioned there, DLamini-Zuma, is expected to step down after holding this position for the last 4 years. She's chosen not to stand for re-election. She's chosen not to seek for a second term, and so the member states are expected to choose a replacement. And what we are hearing is that 3 names have actually been put forward, and they include 2 current foreign affairs ministers. They are from Botswana and Equatorial Guinea. The third candidate is a former vice president of Uganda. What we are also hearing is that the former Tanzanian president, Jakaya Kikwete, is also being approached to run for this position. But again, this is yet to be confirmed. But what experts are also telling us is that if these 3 names remain as they are, it's more likely that this selection of the next African Union chairperson may be pushed to the next African Union summit, which is in January 2017, because experts are saying the 3 names are not really satisfactory. Penina?
All right, Jen Kea live for us there in Kigali. Many thanks, Jen.